What is that? All right. It finally came, and that was quick. But before we do this, which I absolutely promise this is a DJI Mavic unboxing. But first, Alicia said make this super quick, so here we go. This right back here, oops, hold on. That right there is the YouTube channel. Thank you to the subscribers we picked up. We not only doubled, but nearly tripled what we had last week, all because of that one video that had to do with this thing. It's crazy. The channel primarily started as private for family and friends. We got married back in March, and I wanted to do something for my family as well as Alicia's family, and it was a pretty big hit, and people liked the videos, so they were like, hey, you should take this and put it on a bigger scale. So I decided to take the channel from private to public. What you guys will notice, and don't diss me that much, but I took a lot of what I do in the videos from Casey Neistat and a guy named Jesse Wellens. So I think their videos are awesome. I'm always entertained. They do such a great cinematographic job with what they show people. So I kind of copied it pretty much verbatim.
You suck, you jackass.
So I apologize, but I'm trying to morph the channel into something that's her and I. Aside from that, we started the channel in January. Our very first episode right there. I'll put the link in the description down below. And it's very bad, very bad. So be kind on the comments. But that's where we started. And a few months later, progressed through the wedding process planning, and we had the wedding, and then we went to New York City for the honeymoon. Again, right here. I'll put the description down below. So we had a crazy blizzard that came through while we were there. It was an exciting and interesting time. We had a blast. We came back, kind of settled down, and now we're in the process of doing we're newly married and we're gonna buy our first home. We're going through that process of picking countertops and flooring and stuff, which is very exciting for us. So, you know, we've had a couple of other things along the way. Alicia's looking at a new job, possibly becoming an air traffic controller. She'll do great. And then I had the video I put up last week, which was the drone. Okay. So I'm taking a break because I've had to redo this stupid thing like 5 or 6 times.
What?
So look who's home. Do you want to help me open this up?
I want to read all your nasty comments.
Why? Because it makes you happy?
Let's start.
We don't need to read them.
I want to read the nasty.
She likes to defend me when people say mean things, but sometimes when I do things like I did, it requires people being mean.
I want to start with my all-time favorite. Oh, we've jumped up a couple.
Yeah, but for the most part, most people's comments were actually educational, or they inquired about what happened and why the drone crashed. There were some people that had mean comments, but
I'd like to give a shout
expected.
out. I'd like to give a shout out to Lucas, who says, "Well, except for flying over a city and right next to high buildings, imagine if someone would sit on that table. You would end up in prison, my friend." Aside from the comment I already wrote on this, I don't know when the last time you would actually sit on a table. You would sit in a chair. Second of all, no one is gonna sit on a table or a chair at 6 a.m. in the morning at a hotel. And you probably wouldn't go to prison for that, so you might want to double check. All right, on to the next comment.
Why can't I put in all of these in? People can go look at it. I have to redo all of.
Several bad puns later.
As far as the drone video goes, most of the comments that we got were educational to me, and then a lot of people are just inquiring about, you know, what happened in my situation and what went wrong. So there were a few comments that were put down that were a little on the negative side, or people saying, why were you flying there, or you're making a bad name for us. So my intent of the video was to make it educational for everybody, so that if people do decide to fly in a surrounding like that, they take the proper precautions, taking into account that the big tall skyscrapers really are an issue for the signal between the controller and the drone, and I didn't know that because the areas I flew in were all wide open and there were no obstructions ever. So I learned a big lesson that day, and I'm glad that it turned out the way it did. But my saving grace is that no one was around and I didn't damage anything. But I just definitely wanted to let people know that, you know, flying these drones is definitely a privilege. It's not a right. We took all the proper steps to to fly in an area like that by contacting the military and getting all of the written approvals we needed to do so. We contacted the FAA facility whose airspace that we were in and told them where, when, and what altitude we would fly at. We used the DJI Go app to unlock the restricted area to be able to fly there. And then we also went one step further. Even though you don't have to, we contacted local law enforcement so that they knew and that we wouldn't cause any issues there. You know, we never fly with the intent to do anyone any physical harm or anything. But everything that could have gone wrong that day, it went wrong. And I walked away learning a lot. And I'm just, again, I cannot stress how grateful I am that the situation ended up like it did. So take away from it what you can. I will put a link in the description down below for all of you that are going, what is he talking about? The video will explain all of it. So it was, yeah, it was a nerve-wracking time until we found out everything was okay. So now I told you there'd be an unboxing. Basically what this is when I crashed the drone, I sent it in for the DJI Care Refresh. They basically look at it and figure out what happened and then repair it and send it back to me. So I'm not sure if it's the same exact drone or if it's a brand new one. I crashed the drone last Friday. I mailed it out. It then got there on, I believe, Monday. They basically looked at it on Tuesday, assessed it, put it what they could, I guess, back together, or issued a new drone, tested it, and then put it in a box and mailed it on Wednesday, and then today's Thursday, so here it is here now. They're just basically putting some instructions on here about how to link the controller to the drone, which I will have to do again. They sent me some new propellers. This is the drone, and then my battery again, so we're gonna need the knife again. My guess is because I have to link it to a controller that it's probably a new drone. Nope, it's mine. Because the battery's actually, if you can even see that, the battery's actually got marks right here, which is where the battery actually fell out and hit. Wow, huh, all right. So now we gotta link it up and then we're gonna go test it, try to see if it works. So I'm out here to actually fly the drone and test it, see how everything works. To fill you guys in, I had to relink up the controller to the drone. However, what's funny is that the drone serial code is exactly the same as my old one. So they were actually able to fix the old drone and send it back. So I believe the way the DJI Care Refresh works is based on the old serial number, the $79 that I paid. I get to use one more Care Refresh, and I believe I don't have a deductible. But if it were a new drone that got sent to me, I would had to have paid $100 to extend the Care Refresh, I believe, for the remainder of the year that I had left. If anybody knows the answer to that, comment down below, because I honestly don't know and this is all new to me. So we're gonna actually get the drone set up and ready to go and see if we can give it a test, make sure everything works right. The flight went well. Everything seems to be working great. You would never know that anything happened to it. If you guys like the channel, click the subscribe button, like us, comment, let me know what you think. I need some feedback on this too about the Care Refresh. Keep following us. We got more exciting stuff to come tomorrow. We'll see you next time.